Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. And now it's time for the most arduous segment on this channel, the Why You Know Review, where I dip through a series of albums that have come out over the past couple of months that I didn't get a chance to review in full, so now I'm just going to talk about them in brief a little bit over here. Let's go! Famed instrumental and post-rock band comes through with a really underwhelming comeback record, probably some of the most underwhelming post-rock I've heard since Mogwai thought they should start making electronic music with guitars. This thing has a lot of attitude, some disheveled songs, it's a little pretentious, to the point where I really couldn't stand it anymore, but if you're into alternative hip-hop and you're into hip-hop that rides on the fringes, and spoken word that rides on the fringes, then most definitely check this thing out, especially if you are a fan of Saul Williams' fantastic spoken word performances and poetry, which I do recommend you check out if you are not familiar with this man. It's just that I don't really think his artistry and his talent fully translates over to the musical medium. He does have some interesting tracks here and there, not only on this, but his previous records. But he doesn't have a full-length LP that I've loved from beginning to end. But again, I do find a lot of his poetry and his performances to be stunning. Kevin Gates, Southern rapper and Instagram clown, comes through with a project that is commercial in the worst way. He sounds like pretty much every trap rapper on the planet who is desperate for radio play that he is not going to get. Not a good project. Really focus grouped, really bland, and just too glitzy and sugary. All right, so my phone here says it's 2016, but that can't be the case because no one in their right mind would release this past 1999. I wasn't listening to Panic at the Disco in 2006, and I'm not gonna start listening to them in 2016. Not happening. Worst mixtape Future's put out in a while, hands down. Total filler, total leftovers, and some of the worst and most obnoxious DJ drops I've heard on a tape in a while. A couple of songs here and there where it feels like Future does a little bit more of a lyrical narrative, gets kind of personal, but a vast majority of this stuff, again, is just unkempt leftovers. Former Immortal frontman goes solo on his first big solo debut, and it's not bad. It's a heavy, loud, clean black metal record. Reminds me quite a bit of Immortal's last album, though that record did receive mixed reviews from some fans because they didn't like how the band was going in this cleaner direction. Abbath continues that over here, but there's nothing really that striking about it to me. I mean, I like the sound, I like the mix, some of the songs are okay, but to me it sort of reminded me of the Satanists, Behemoth's The Satanists, but way less epic and grand and panoramic. This thing is all proficiency and like almost no soul, and I can only hope that this is the record that puts the final nail into rock opera's coffin. It's like listening to all of these ideas compiled from King Crimson, Rush, Pink Floyd, and Queen, then they're just bleached to death so that all of the personality and everything that was gritty about those bands is just sucked out of the equation, and then what's left over is just overblown into 2 freaking hours. What happened here to this? What happened to this? The recording on this thing is awful. It does not sound as good as the production on the previous 2 Christian Mistress albums, nor are the performances that great. Why do I feel like I'm listening to a totally different band? Ooh. Ah. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. This album is depressingly formulaic, which is kind of surprising given just how eclectic Eleanor's music used to be when she was putting out music with her brother in the Fiery Furnaces. Just not really feeling this one, unfortunately. I got papacy, got a lot of papacy, got a lot of sinners trying to drain me of my energy. They try to take the way from a bishop, fucking with a pope, and pray for your bishop. Sia, unfortunately on this record, did not come through with as enjoyable an experience as her last full-length LP. Feels like in order to maintain the mainstream success that she won with that last record, she kind of rendered her very triumphant sound down to its most overblown, basic, and in-your-face elements, sort of losing the subtle beauty and the dynamics of the last record in favor of something that's just kind kind of one note. Feels like kind of a rehash, but less details and so much more desperate for you to think it's catchy. Oh, I seriously tried to like this. I seriously tried on numerous occasions. I think the Dead Body single is really good, but much of the rest of the record is just so slow and overly emotional and emotional, I guess. While I do hear that Lil Simz sounds sad and very moody on a lot of cuts here, I don't necessarily connect with it. So, yeah. And next, a hip-hop artist whose mixtapes, recent mixtapes, people have been just on my case to review and talk about. This latest one over here, I can't say I'm too crazy about either. I'm just not seeing this guy's style or exactly what the angle is that he's taking in his music that has people so excited. He just kind of sounds like a moody internet trap rapper to me. And for every decent song that is on this project, there's another one that's totally awful and completely unbearable. I love the track Red Alert, and it sounded like on this project over here, this song and a few others, he was really trying to do something a little more commercial, a little catchier, definitely a banger. The song is well crafted and in some respects it's catchy, but then we have cuts like Illuminati Love. Could not stand that track, not even for a second. Then there's the song I Know, which seems to be one of the big singles from this thing, and that song is totally underwhelming, totally drab. Do not get what's so appealing about that track. And then the song How We Do It, which samples the famed 90s single, I could not sit through at all. I thought it was completely tasteless in how it sampled that Montel Jordan song. I like Jazz's deep voice, but a lot of his lyrics just don't really say anything to me. Yeah, it's decent, it's okay, it's not the worst thing in the world. I guess I'm just not seeing the hype, is how I would put it. And that's the Why You Know Review. Those are all the records that I'm talking about in this video. Transition, and there's the Why You Know Review. Thank you for watching. Hope you're doing well. More reviews on the way. What do you think I should review next? What did you think of these records that I, sort of passed up on for the most part? Did you love them, hate them, why? And, forever.